A bit of an intro into data capture and the different components we need to get a data capture in Fresh Relevance up and running and firing on all cylinders. So firstly, we need to create your data capture smart block using one of our Fresh Relevance templates. So what we can do is we can build that all in the system and get it looking exactly how we want it to. Then what we can do is configure the layout and also the behavior of the data capture smart block as well. So do we want to popping over on exit intent? I'll talk a bit more about that later. And then also do want to going off after a fixed period of time. And then finally, what we need to do is create a custom signal, which essentially will take all of the information that's put into that data capture and then firing it back towards your ESP so that all of the information gets submitted. As a little nice bonus, what we could also do is use A/B tests, or if you have the advanced testing and optimization module, you could do multi-arm bandit tests, start to test and optimize your data capture forms to try and see if there's anything particular that works better, maybe some different colors, different wording, things like that, to see what's most effective. Are there any questions so far?
Nope.
No.
Lovely. Feel free to interrupt me at any point as well, just to ask any questions, or if there's anything else you want me to cover, then feel free to just shout. I want to hop into the system now, and we can start to talk through making data capture forms. So I'm here in the demo store right now. This is one of our internal things. It's a completely fake shop. However, it's all skis and snowboards in this store. And you might have been seeing it in sort of demos and things like that. A few things I'd like to signpost people to begin with. Firstly, we have this question mark up in the top left, and it will basically tell you exactly the page you're on. It will give you some nice guidance on different things like sort of the home page and things like that, and just explain where you are. And it will also give you a great link to the tactics library as well. This is something one of my colleagues put together, and it's got great little sort of guidance sort of articles and things like that for how you can get some different ideas up and running. So for example, if I find something that might be cool for this one, for example, a cart abandonment popover might be interesting. So we can look at that tactic and it will give you the nice how-to all here and how you get that set up. So feel free to give it a look. We also have on here a video icon where we have all different videos in the platform, and each page you're on, it will give you relevant videos for where you are in the platform. So definitely worth a watch, just sort of give you a nice basic intro into things. And then finally, if you have any technical questions or anything like that, feel free to ping an email to our support team, and they're there for any sort of queries, questions, or anything like that. They're incredible, and they do like to have a bit of a competition with each other for who can answer the most tickets in a day. So don't worry about sending things off to them. So then, finding where we go to data capture. So firstly, I'm going to make my data capture and get it looking exactly how I want it to. So I'm going to click on the Content tab here, and then I'm going to go on to Smart Blocks. Now we have a lot of different types of smart blocks up along the top. We have sort of recommendations for our main kind, all different ones like reviews, but today we're going to look at the data capture smart blocks that are just here. And we have all of the ones that have been already set up within the account by probably colleagues and things like that. However, I'm going to make a brand new one today and go through the entire process of getting it up and running. So I can click on Create Smart Block just here. And then we have a couple of options. There is a new beta version that's just come out. Today I'm going to go through the sort of more original version. However, feel free to use the new version. And then up at the top as well, when you're using the new version, there's a feedback form. So anything you find that doesn't quite make sense on there, feel free to feed it back and our product team will have a look at that and be able to make any relevant changes as well. So on this one, I am going to choose this data capture top and bottom with image, but you can feel free to use any you like, or we can use our professional services team. At a cost, they can make it look exactly how you want it to. So you can give them a brief, give them a bit of an overview of what you want, and then get it all set up for you. So then, we have down here a nice preview of what we're looking at. So on this one in particular, we have the first name, the last name, and the email address, as well as a sign up button just down here. We then have the layout just here, which will be essentially the different layout that we are using. And then a few different things like the width and different factors like that. It's all going to be sort of open source HTML, which is behind the edit button. So to make any drastic changes, like increase the number of fields and things like that, you probably will want to consult with support, and they can help you with doing that sort of thing just behind the scenes on there. We then have the open button just here. And so essentially this will look how it will to a customer that hasn't submitted it yet. And we can change up things like the text. So for example, we see this headline text here says, "Are you missing out?" What I might like to do is change that to sign up to our newsletter. As you can see, it will just change that just down here. We can also change the font up, and we have a list of different fonts available in Fresh. If you also want a custom font, have a chat to your account manager, and they'll be able to talk you through the costs of getting a new font imported. It's mainly for sort of legal fees and things like that, but we can have any font imported into the system that you'd like. So have a chat with them, and they'll be able to set that up for you. We then have the message text, which is just this little bit of text just down below. So I'm going to keep that how it is for now. And then we can also toggle different things. So maybe what you want to do, we can automatically choose whether to have first name and last name. What I might want to do is just remove the last name and only have the first name field there. We can just do that by clicking that little toggle button there. We also, as default, have the email set up. However, we're moving into the world of SMS. So what you might like to do is also add an SMS field into there. That's something that currently isn't coming out of the box. Sort of you have to get professional services or the support team to help you with that. But in the future, what we're hoping is to have a nice SMS field in there as well. Any questions on this sort of open field? Anything to sort of anything to ask, or anything that you might want to discuss?
No, nothing so far.
Awesome. All making sense for everyone so far?
Yep.
Nice. I can go a little bit quickly, so feel free to just sort of slow me down as and when you need to. We also have different things as well, like the background color and things like that. So all there for you to change up is quite similar to a lot of other platforms and how it's used. We then have the submitted side, which is essentially how it will look after it's been submitted. If I just press this in here, I'm just going to press that. And this is exactly how it will look just down here. So we have the "you are now subscribed" just there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change that to maybe something like "welcome to our newsletter list," or something like that. Sort of feel free to do it as and how you want to. But it's all there for you. And if I just resubmit again, we can see that preview and it will look exactly like that. So nice and simple. And then also have the message just below. So nice and simple, just like the last tab. It's all just there to change and looks sort of, it is what you see. We then have the properties tab just here, and this is where we can sort of do things like renaming the smart block. So I'm just going to name that WD data capture. And then we have different things as well. So for example, we have a redirect URL here. So maybe what you have is a sale on and you want to sort of let people know and they can sign up to a sale list, for example. And what you also want is to have a redirect URL. So if someone clicks on this image up here, do we want to redirect them to a brand new URL? And maybe it's got all of your sale items, for example, or something like that. And sort of up to you what you go for on that regard. And then we also have down here all of our campaign tracking code source and medium. So anyone that uses things like Google Analytics, Adobe Analytics, things like that, where you can track everything through that's just put on your campaign source, medium, and campaign source and medium just in there, and it will all plug into the analytics platforms that you use. Any questions on that?
I have a question,
Yeah.
kind of for everyone on this call, but one of the things that we want to do is add a unique coupon code after sign up. And it just has been all sorts of complicated. So I'm curious if anyone on this call does that and successfully. So we've been struggling.
Cool. Anyone on the call?
For us, we have a coupon code that goes in the email afterwards. So that goes through the sort of the triggered email afterwards that they'll receive from our ESP. But and in terms of the pop-ups, I've not had any luck with that.
No. one thing, Rebecca, to think about. So we have got the option in Fresh to show unique coupon codes. Do you have a provider that can generate coupon codes for you?
Yeah, it's just like I guess we have to basically do a smart block within a smart block with that coupon smart block deal. So we're just trying to figure out how to do that. Have it directly in the success window of the data capture.
Yeah, okay, cool. I'm just kind of think what I might do if I can pick that one up offline with you and we can have a look with support and see if there's a way that we can maybe incorporate a coupon into there. I'm sure we can maybe look at doing some of the HTML, something like that. But if we could pick that one up offline.
Can you include us on that as well? Well,
Sure.
me on that.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to do the same. Our developer needs to look at it, but she's just hasn't got time. But we can't do the triggered email because our emails aren't automated. So we also want the code to appear in the pop-up, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll have a chat with a couple of people internally and just see exactly how we get around that. It might be a case that would be something to do under professional services. They'll be able to get that one built for you. But I'll have a chat internally and see what we can do on that one. But what I know is possible in Fresh is we can import coupon codes and set up. We can import 2 million at a time. And then have it all following through, and then yeah, if we can have that on the submitted, then I'll have a look and see if we can do that.
Okay, thanks.
Cool. Anyone else wants to be added on to that? No. Awesome. Any other questions for anyone?
Nope.
Nope. Awesome. And then finally, we have the behavior tab, and this arguably is the most important one. This is basically how the data capture form is going to behave. So when is it going to trigger and pop up? In this case, it's going to be a popover data capture, and also do want to trigger it on, for example, exit intent. So first of all, at the top, we have the minimum time between data capture displayed. So how often are we going to show this data capture to someone on this device? So we got it defaulted to 90 days. However, maybe you want to lower that down to 45, for example. It's up to you what you go for on there. We then have the minimum time before showing the data capture in seconds. So what's the minimum time before we actually pop it up on someone in that session? So it's currently defaulted to 1 second. And then also we have the show data capture after fixed time period in seconds. So this one's really, really important for mobile and tablet. If it's currently left blank, the data capture will only show to people on computer because it will only show on exit intent. And essentially on mobile and tablet, we don't have the option to trigger on exit intent. For anyone that doesn't know, exit intent is when you start to drag your mouse cursor up to the top right of the screen near the cross. That will trigger the system to go, okay, someone's about to exit the site. Let's trigger this data capture to go off. So what you might like to do is look at doing maybe one for your computer users. Then we can use a slot rule later on to display a mobile one to our people on mobile and tablet that will show maybe after a fixed period of time, maybe like 300 seconds, for example, and it will show after 300 seconds to everyone on there. Any questions on that?
No.
Nope. Nice. Then finally, what I need to do is just have this going to a custom signal name. So this is where we can start to send things back towards our ESP using the data capture forms. So this one is going to be the form submit destination is to a custom signal. We also have the options setting up to go directly to the ESP. Have a chat with the support team if you want that to go directly through there. But I'm going to go for the custom signal option. And then down here, we can change the name. So I'm going to call this one WD Data Capture Fresh. Quite a long name just because you've got a lot of them have already been set up. But you can have this whatever you want it to be, any name at all. But just remember exactly what the name is. Any questions on that before we go into the next stage? Nope. Awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Publish and Use. And what this will do is it'll automatically get it ready to put into a slot. So for anyone that doesn't know, we have smart blocks and slots in Fresh Relevance. Nope, I heard a beep and I thought I put myself on mute accidentally. For anyone that doesn't know, in Fresh Relevance we have smart blocks and slots, and the difference is we have a smart block, which is like our data capture form just here, and the slot is what we put it into. And the reason we do that is we can use marketing rules to dictate what smart block is shown to different people. So we can put a slot anywhere we'd like to, and maybe for one person we'll show one smart block, for another person we'll show another smart block. So that's when we can start to get really nice and personal. We're showing different things to different people based on their behavior. So I'm going to click on use for web personalization just here, and then click on use the smart block in a new slot. Cool. And then we bring up this screen just here. We have the slot name that's already set up for us, and then everything here is all ready to go. We can also have the option of only showing it to people that are outside of the control group. So for things like recommendations, I recommend ticking this one. However, for data capture, if you want to have a lot of people's emails captured, then you can show it to everyone as well. And then I'm just going to press save. We then have just here how we can add it into our website. So we have either the option of using our site editor, where it's really nice and easy to drag and drop everything in and get it all live. Or if you'd like to do server-side personalization, personalized on your side, you can copy this slot code just here and have it added in to your website like that. The way the site editor works, it will use the script that's currently on your website and it will load it through that. There's a tiny little display, but a tiny little delay, but nothing to sort of nothing that an eye can't see. So yeah. Any questions on that?
No, similar to what I do whenever I'm scheduling a smart block to appear on a certain page on the website. So yeah, yeah, I'm familiar with this. Yeah.
Nice, awesome. I'm just going to go on to the rules tab just here, and we can dictate some different things like that. So for example, what we could do is we can have one smart block going to our people that are on computer, which will be this one that has got it has got a fixed delay on, but maybe we want one that does and one that doesn't. And for example, what we could do is we could use our device rules. We go on person and current device. And what we could do is use a device type and say for PC. If they're on PC, we'll show them this one. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this one and then show a different one to the people on mobile. That's a nice example of something that we could do in Fresh. So I'm going to press save. And that is all done on the setting up front for getting it all ready to go. Now what we need to do is ping it back to our ESP. Before I go to that, are there any questions for anyone?
Just a small, well, maybe small. With the data captures, is it going to automatically put it on every page, or is it possible for us to personalize a data capture depending on what page they're on?
Yes, that'll be on the side of the site editor. So if I just go to the use tab just here, what I can do is click on deploy using the site editor. And then what I can do is just here, I've seen the one I've just made here. I'm going to drag and drop this over. And I'm going to pop it just here, for example. And what I can do when I can find it is quite busy. The demo store is really, really busy with a lot of different things that people have. Let me just put that up there. There we go. It's probably easiest to put it in the top left. But what I can do as well is I've just selected this slot by clicking it here. If I scroll down on the page, you see under here we have the advanced tab. If I click down on that, we can decide what pages to show it on. So for example, we can do it on all pages. We can do it so you can individually set it up to go to specific pages and things like that.
Yep.
Cool.
Cool.
Any other questions for anyone on the sort of site editor side of things? No. One thing to note as well is there is a new site editor coming very soon. Our product team are working on it and it'll be a lot sort of easier and nicer to use. So look out for that one when it comes. And hopefully we might even do a fresh focus session on that as well. So now we have set up that smart block and it is put into our slot and now deployed onto the site editor. What I can do is I can go to our triggers management page and get things set up to go live on to and sending it back to our ESP. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the Manage Custom Signals just here, and then I can create a custom signal just down here in this button. You'll see here this error, this sort of warning message. Nothing's gone wrong. Don't worry about any of that. Essentially, we can create any custom signal in Fresh Relevance, but it would require a script to be updated. But don't worry about this one. You just sort of ignore that message. It did catch me out when I first did this, so don't worry about it. I'm going to capture in what we put in there, that little bit of information we remembered earlier. So for that one, it was WD Data Capture Fresh Focus that I set it to. And then I'm going to click on Register just here. And then my computer's been very slow the last couple of days. And then we just made a brand new custom signal in Fresh Relevance. So what's happening right now is that it's coming from our data capture form. It's saying, right, where's this custom signal? Where is it? Okay, there it is. Now we're in here and we're going to set it up to trigger back to our ESP. So what I can do is I can click on Create just here. And I'm going to create a brand new set field, add to list. So what this will do is it will trigger off and send something back to our ESP. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to call this again W Data Capture Fresh Focus. And then I'm going to ignore this one just here. It's going to be a case of the other different things that might be relevant, or if our support team say it's relevant, then that's okay. And then also the wait time I'm going to set to as it is. On the action channel, you'll find your ESP just in here. So for example, this one, let's say it is MailChimp using Mandrill. And then within there, you'll have a list ID. So it could be anything, it could be numbers, it could be sort of newsletter signups, anything like that. We're going to just call that what it is. It will be something to ask your ESP support team if you're not sure exactly what it's called on there. We then have the option to pause or catch all for this. So if you wanted to maybe stop anything going back to your ESP, if you just wanted to stop the data capture from finding back, it will still display on the site. But if you wanted to stop it from finding back, you can do that just by pausing it there. But I recommend just to keep it unpaused because nothing's going to be going out to customers anyway. And then what I can do is I can just press save down here. And when that has loaded, can take a little bit of time. There we go, trigger program is saved. So now what I can do is I can hopefully find it just in here. I'm going to give it a quick refresh. However, we've got quite a lot set up already in here, just from people sort of using the demo store for trying to try out different things and show different things to different customers. So it might be a case of it might take a bit of time. Here we go, there it is, just there. I can drag that in and press save. And now what we've got is a data capture running on the site, and it's firing all of it back to our custom signal just there. Any questions on that? Did I go through that too quickly, or is anything not making any sense for someone, or anything like that?
I think I'm up to speed. Yeah, so.
Nice. Anything that anyone wants to talk about sort of on optimizing it, maybe some different ideas, or any ideas that anyone wants to sort of go through again today?
I guess it's less to do with this, but sort of like the gamification of popovers, things like the spin the wheel popovers I see on other websites. Is that possible to do through Fresh, or is that?
No, it's not directly with Fresh, but what you could do if you want to do something to do with gamification is speak to your account manager, and we'll probably have a partner that does something along those lines, and we'll be able to integrate. So what we do probably is if I go to our smart block page, we probably do it through a custom smart block, so import it customly through that. So it kind of is possible through a Fresh slot, if you guess, but it will all be powered by someone external. We can't do gamification in Fresh for now.
And my other question was like sort of how would you best recommend things for sort of a popover for Black Friday or for Christmas, as we're coming into that?
Cool. So what we might like to do is if I go to our slot just here and go to the one we just made, it's going to be in web. So it's just here. What you might like to do is try and maybe make some ones in advance, make some specific data captures in advance. And then we can have time rules set up so we can show specific smart blocks within certain time periods. So for example, what I could do is I could go to the time just here, and I could go to the date range. I know I built out, for example, one for Black Friday. I think it's probably mid to the end of November, I want to say. Maybe the 18th is ringing a bell. So let's say we want to have it going from a week before then until maybe the Monday, just gone to Cyber Monday. We can have that date range set up and ready to go on that. I've just set it up a little bit wrong. I've not gone properly. There we go. Cyber Monday. There you go. So if it's between the 11th of November and the 21st of November, what we will do is show a specific data capture just in there to people. And we can add in a new one just there, which will be Black Friday specific. And we can also get one ready for Christmas as well. So have one showing just during December, for example, that's a Christmas specific popover, adding to a certain Christmas list, anything like that. Did that answer the question?
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
Nice. Anything for anyone else? Any more for any more?
Would you put like feedback form pop-ups into this same process?
Possibly we could. However, it would be something custom to set up
Okay.
and get live. It will be a case of the support. Our services team would have to sort of get everything coded up and ready, and then put onto there. I'm sure we could do it, but it's something that will probably come at an extra cost. So if that's of interest, have a chat to your account manager. I believe, is it Sam? Is your account manager?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, have a chat with Sam if that's something you're interested in, and then maybe we can have a look with our services team to get something set up on there.
Cool. Okay. Thanks.
Nice. But yeah, I'm not 100% certain, but I can ask the question as well for you and feed you back as well.
Great. Thank you.
No worries. Cool. Anything for anyone else? Any other questions? Sort of 25 minutes left. We've blasted through it quite quickly. No. Awesome. Well, in that case, I'm sure no one's going to complain about getting 25 minutes back from their day. So feel free to reach out if you have any other questions or anything at all, and I'll promise to send around those sort of other bits and bobs as well. What I might also do is send around a couple of articles as well to sort of think about different things we can maybe optimize as well on our data captures, and then get that sent back to everyone as well. If there's no other questions, then feel free to have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
No
you.
worries. Take
Bye.
care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes.